This is my ranking of the top 5 scenes from The Last Jedi. At number 5, I have the Holdo Maneuver. Now this is probably the hottest take on the list, considering that this scene is always crapped on for breaking canon. Yes, the introduction of hyperspace ramming does introduce some problems when it comes to the lore of Star Wars, but I just really don't care. I genuinely believe this scene should be taught as a masterclass of storytelling. The Last Jedi has 3 ongoing stories at this point in the movie: Rey and Kylo's story, Finn and Rose's story, and Poe and the Resistance's story. Somehow Rian Johnson manages to have the climax of all 3 of these stories meet at a single point. The way this is done is genius. Because 3 story threads are interrupted at the same time, the scene itself has so much more narrative weight. For a moment that literally has no sound, it is probably the loudest scene and grabs everyone's attention who is watching it. And it would be a crime if I didn't mention the visuals and the sounds of this scene. The shot of the supremacy mixed with the silence is golden. Everyone can tell you the amount of oohs and ahs they heard when watching this movie for the first time in theaters. It's crazy to think that I have so many good things to say about a scene that lies in 5th place. Before I continue on with number 4, don't forget to go vote for your 5 favorite scenes from the sequel trilogy. I will be accepting votes up until Saturday, July 25th. On Sunday the 26th, I will be revealing the top 20 scenes that you, the fans, have voted on. So everyone, please pause this video and go vote in that poll. It would really mean the world to me. Thank you so much, and let's get on with the ranking. At number 4, we have the Force Bond scene where Rey touches hands with Ben Solo. All the Force Bond scenes are great, but this one will always be my favorite. I don't think this scene gets enough credit for how important it is in the whole trilogy. The Force Awakens ended with these 2 characters in clear opposition. Rey hates Kylo Ren. I remember watching this movie for the first time and how surprised I was that they effectively took the main character and the main villain of the movie and managed to have an intimate scene between the 2 of them. These characters are emotionally naked right now, and even after the events of The Force Awakens, they are basically saying that they are there for the other person. The slightest touch of fingers, I think, is more romantic and personal than any kiss in the entire series. If it is not for this scene, then there is no redemption for Kylo Ren. Also, the direction by Rian Johnson is just amazing. The way Kylo's hand appears in the same frame as Rey's for the first time in the movie is so powerful. And the way the music swells when the camera is so close, it's perfection. Again, Rian Johnson somehow manages to make the quietest moments the most impactful, and I love it. At number 3, we have Luke versus Kylo Ren and the death of Luke Skywalker. Now, on my Google form with the voting, I considered these 2 different scenes, but I completely regret that. I have probably said it before, but I will say it again. Luke sacrificing his life so his friends can live without harming a hair of the enemy is the most Jedi thing anyone has done in the history of Star Wars. Once Luke shows up, no one else died besides him. Luke goes from rejecting the Jedi to being the best example of one we have seen in this entire franchise. I also love Luke's final words to Kylo and how they reflect the arcs of the 3 main characters. The Rebellion is Reborn Today describes how Poe is a reborn leader. The War is Just Beginning describes Finn's dedication to the Resistance and this war. And I Will Not Be the Last Jedi describes how Rey is ready to be a Jedi. Now, regardless of his confrontation with Kylo Ren, it's his death scene that always hits me. This is my favorite piece of music in the franchise. We see Luke's story begin with the Sons, literally twice, and now his story has ended with the Sons. I also like how before he was to the left of the Sons, symbolizing the beginning, and now he is on the right, symbolizing the end, like a line on a page. This scene is literal perfection, and somehow it's only number 3 on this list. At number 2, we have the entire throne room scene. There is so much to talk about here, I just don't know where to begin. I guess I love how this scene was so unpredictable for me. If this was the 3rd movie in the trilogy, then I would have probably seen Snoke's death coming, but since this was the 2nd, it shocked the hell out of me. When Rey catches the lightsaber, I was so hyped and shocked, it was insane. Although I think something needs to be said about subverting expectations. People nowadays like to use that phrase in a negative way, but I genuinely feel this was a great use of subverting expectations. It doesn't just come out of nowhere. It makes perfect sense that Kylo would do something like this, which is why it works so well for me. The fight is beautiful to watch and is unique in terms of fights in the films, but my favorite part is after the fight. When Kylo and Rey are talking, this is probably one of the best written scenes in Star Wars. Rey being a nobody was a perfect reveal, and I don't hate the idea of Rey Palpatine, but I will always prefer Rey nobody. When Kylo tells Rey she's nothing but not to him, I vividly remember thinking to myself, that is how you properly tempt someone to the dark side. I think Anakin's turn is not good at all, and I never felt any danger in the original trilogy that Luke would actually turn to the dark side. If Rey had joined Kylo here, I would have totally believed it. But she doesn't, and the beauty of the way the struggle over the lightsaber is filmed always amazes me. I know I've said this already, but this scene is perfect. But it doesn't top my second favorite scene in the entire franchise. And at number 1, we have Luke talking to the Force ghost of Yoda. The reason I love this scene so much is because of how much I resonate with Yoda's words. The greatest teacher failure is a line that I think about all the time. It helps me during the times that I don't succeed and it makes me stronger. It also sends an amazing message to the audience. It tells us that even if Luke Skywalker fails, then it's okay that we do too. If Luke can come back from his mistakes and do right to the people he loves, then so can we. I would never get a tattoo, but if I were, I would definitely get Yoda's quote on failure. And just like every scene on this list, the visuals are amazing. The final shot was actually my wallpaper on my computer for some amount of time. I made a whole video about Luke in this movie and why this scene is so important. So if you want to see me talk about this scene for like 23 minutes, then go check out this video. But this scene is easily my favorite in The Last Jedi. And that is my ranking of the top 5 scenes from The Last Jedi. In 2 days, I will be releasing my top 5 scenes from the Rise of Skywalker, and in 5 days, I will be releasing your choice for the top 20 scenes in the entire trilogy. So go check out these videos if you're watching it after they are released. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.